Tonight, see how you can get prepared for the career fair.
Plus, a new book is on the shelves at Barnes & Noble. Stay tuned. TrojanVision News starts now.
From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for October 21st, 2014. I'm Casey Freeman.
And I'm Xavier Harris. Thank you for joining us. The radio station on campus has a fundraiser event going on this week to help raise money. Angel Norris has a story.
WTSU is home to many of Troy's radio students. Troy University's radio station is having its biannual radio fund drive throughout the rest of this week.
We're having our semi-annual fund drive, the fall fund drive. It started last Saturday. It ends this Saturday, and this is to raise funds to buy programming. A lot of people think that because we're a public broadcasting entity, that all programming is free.
The money and hard work it takes to run a radio station is extensive and sometimes goes unnoticed. But as Buddy explains, it does take a lot of funds to run the public radio.
When you look at everything from NPR, APM, WFMT, and the specials we take in everything, it's $200,000 plus for programming for public radio.
Not many people know that Troy's radio station was one of the first established in the state of Alabama in 1977. Here's how you can help keep the radio station going for many more years to come.
All they have to do is call 1-800-800-6616. We have operators on duty where they can give us their pledge.
Angel Norris, Troy TrojanVision News.
The fund drive will continue through Saturday. If anyone would like to make a donation, call 1-800-800-6616.
Students will have an opportunity to check out various businesses and meet potential employers. Nathaniel Rodriguez has the story.
The Office of Career Services is holding their biannual career fair on Wednesday, October 2nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The fair will be held in Sartain Hall, providing students with an opportunity to network with future employers. In addition to the benefits of previous fairs, this year's fair will be bigger than ever.
So we are having some of the same perks of the last couple semesters as far as we're giving free professional headshots for our students to use maybe your portfolios or LinkedIn accounts. But this year we actually have more employers coming. So we've got 55 there, and that's a record number for us.
There will be a substantial amount of variety at the fair, catering to students from various fields of study.
So we've got a variety of employers that are coming for all different types of majors. Just to give you a few examples, we have employers that are representing the banking financial industry like Regions Bank. We have employers, we have a hospital coming. We have computer software type companies like CGI. So there's a host of different companies that are coming. Students can actually view those employers on Trojan Link, which is on our website.
Students who wish to come to the fair are expected to be professionally prepared.
Students should come dressed professionally. They should bring resumes. We actually review resumes in the Career Center, so if they haven't done that by now, then maybe after the fair they could come by and see us. But they should bring their resume so the employer has contact information with them.
The fair is open to upper and lower classmen, providing benefits to both.
So any student should come, whether they're underclassmen or upperclassmen. Underclassmen should start to get comfortable approaching employers, start to networking with those employers, and get their resumes out there. And they should be thinking internships to try to get their foot in the door somewhere. Upperclassmen, it's starting to get time to really line up a job, and that takes time, so the earlier they start, the better. So upperclassmen should go ahead and come and start to meet employers in their field.
Nathaniel Rodriguez, Troy TrojanVision News.
Once again, the career fair will be tomorrow from 10 to 2 in Sartain Hall.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and today Troy welcomed a special guest to campus. Gillian Anderson signed copies of her new book, Room 939. It's her first-hand account of sexual assault in a hotel room over 20 years ago. Anderson was on a business trip in Atlanta, Georgia when an intruder entered her room. Anderson also spoke to several classes about how to handle abuse cases. She says the best way to deal with these situations is to talk. Anderson kept her story bottled up and says the hardest part of writing her book was revealing the past.
Actually writing it down and processing a lot of those emotions that I had sort of stuffed way deep inside of me for so long was probably one of the most difficult things to do. and it was sort of, I was reliving it again for the first time, because I had never done that. I had not allowed myself to do it, so probably just sort of reliving a lot of those emotions again.
Anderson's book, Room 939, is on sale in Barnes & Noble's bookstore. Troy University is home to many different on-campus organizations ranging from political groups to fashion clubs.
And beginning this week, we're going to give you a closer look inside of some of those organizations. And Jesse McGlown gives us a look at the musical group on campus.
Troy University, like all colleges everywhere, boasts a variety of extracurricular activities, from the obvious to one in particular that might not be so obvious. This particular ensemble is under the direction of Mr. Eric Ward, who enthusiastically encourages students from experienced ones to not so experienced ones to come in and, well, give it a shot.
Oh, we get all ends of the spectrum, from just beginners, people with no jazz experience, to people with a lot of jazz experience. And I always try to find a place for everybody.
What sets the Troy Jazz Ensemble apart from the other band programs on campus is the opportunity for musicians to sometimes, how shall I put it, wander off script. That would be these blueprints, and while it's true that a certain adherence to sheet music is necessary in the grand scheme of things, the Troy Jazz Ensemble may be one of the last frontiers, indeed jazz music itself, where you're free to improvise, at least for a few bars. So just what can a student expect playing in this ensemble?
Well, prior to coming to Troy, I was just beginning in my musicianship, but when I got here and I joined the jazz ensemble, it really broadened my repertoire and helped me grow as a musician. So I've been able to play more often with other folks.
And when Mr. Ward is not at the helm, other musicians are ready to step up.
They're both professional musicians as well as educators, so there are times that they can't be with the band. I'm there to step up and lead the group. And also they've given me the chance to work with other jazz ensembles.
If you might be interested in checking the Troy Jazz Ensemble out, there are auditions twice a year to see if you've got the right stuff. For Troy TrojanVision News, I'm Jesse McGlown.
Tune in again tomorrow night for another look at our organizational highlight series.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Opelika, Alabama House Speaker Mike Hubbard is getting ready for his possible arrest in a state corruption probe. Lee County records show Hubbard and his lawyer visited the sheriff's office in Opelika on Friday. Defense attorney Mark White said Monday they went to the sheriff's office to provide paperwork so Hubbard could be released on bond as quickly as possible. Hubbard said last week he's done nothing wrong and he calls his investigation a witch hunt.
In Montgomery, a court has unsealed the divorce record of an Alabama federal judge arrested on domestic violence charge in Atlanta in August. Documents from 2012 breakup between U.S. District Judge Mark Fuller and then-wife Lisa Fuller show the two eventually reached a settlement. That agreement remains under seal. Lisa Fuller signed an affidavit saying the two had numerous disagreements and arguments, but there weren't claims of physical violence, and the documents were made public. Fuller is under pressure to resign because of the arrest involving his current wife.
And in Birmingham, a police officer is charged with sexually abusing a child is facing additional charges. Alabama police officer says 29-year-old Joshua Herbinger is now charged with first-degree rape. The case involves a woman. The Alabaster man was charged with 4 counts of sexual abuse of a child younger than 12. Herbinger is being held at the Shelby County Jail with bond set at $60,000. Police says more charges are possible. Herbinger has been in Birmingham with the police department for about 9 years. Still to come on Troy TrojanVision News, the men's tennis team competed the ITA Southern Regional Championship this past weekend. Clay Yeager will tell you how when he joins us in sports.
Plus, hear the verdict of Oscar Pistorius. We'll have that coming up after the break.
Thousands of healthcare workers get a demonstration from the CDC on the new Ebola guidelines. I'm Allison Harmelin in New York with that story coming up.
Get your You're not sitting here. Yes, I am. Move. Give it to him hard. No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stabbing me with it? No!
They want to help,
Ow!
but don't know how.
Oh, you got...
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
This could be a bicycle. Or a bat. This could be a robot. Or an airplane. This could be a playground. This could be a book bag. Or a soccer ball. This could be a book. This could be beautiful. This cannot be trash. This can all be recycled. Learn more at thiscouldbe.org.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on TrojanVision News.
The football team could not keep their winning momentum as they fell to Appalachian State 53-14 last weekend. The Mountaineers' offense was too much for the defense as Appalachian State had a total offense of 551 yards, 110 passing yards, and 441 rushing yards on the Trojan defense. Linebacker Mark Wilson and his defense said they made a lot of mistakes that added up.
We had a lot of misfits, and when I say we, I say myself. First of all, personally, I feel like I had the worst game all year, assignment-wise, and we missed out on a lot of cues, and all the mistakes that we made, they capitalized on it.
The Trojans take on South Alabama this Friday in Mobile at 6:30 p.m. The women's tennis team finished tournament play at the Sanford Fall Round Robin Tournament against Sanford in doubles play and South Alabama in singles. In doubles, Trang Huynh and Anya Kosovic won the first doubles flight against Sanford's Stephanie Nacha and Karita Mullman. Huynh as the 107th nationally ranked player, had the opportunity to win the first singles flight but had to leave due to an injury against South Alabama's Laura Volkova. However, Sine Oda competed in the second singles flight and won in the finals against South Alabama's Emily Newton in 3 sets. The weekend for the Trojans will compete in the Big Easy Tennis Classic. And the men's tennis team wrapped up the ITA Regional Championship this past weekend as Giovanni Samaha won the third round match in the singles consolation draw, beating Jake Fuentes from Sanford. However, Samaha fell in the fourth round to South Alabama's Tukey Jacobs. Gabriel Siaka Diaz and Pablo Marino were scheduled to play in the third round, but Diaz had to withdraw due to an ankle injury. Head coach Scott Kidd says that even though he had some new players playing in the tournament for the first time, they performed well and are getting better as they face competition.
We always, as a coach, I'm always looking how we can do better as a staff and do better in practice to keep improving. I have a lot of expectations team because they are so talented. And got a lot of compliments from coaches from the SEC, impressed with the team. So I think that we've got the right guys here. It's just getting, continuing to improve and grow. And again, competition is what makes you better. We got to continue to play tough competition, good tournaments. And we open up in January. We come right back within a week and a half, and we open up with Florida. So I think that the schedule puts us in the situation to get better and to improve and to be the team they should be.
Gabriel Diaz will not be competing for the Trojans' next tournament, the Big Easy Tennis Classic in New Orleans. The Old Waverly Bulldog Invitational has been underway for the women's golf team since Monday. As of now, the Trojans are in 7th place after 3 rounds and a solid performance from Langley Vanoy and Becca Horner. Vanoy had a birdie on hole 12 to go 1 under, where she stayed until a triple bogey on hole number 18. However, Vanoy finished the day with 1 over 73. Horner came in 1 under as she had a pair of birdies on hole 10, 15, 17, and a double bogey on hole 16. Vanoy and Horner are both tied for 14th place, while Fatima Fernandez-Cano is tied for 36th place, and Taylor McGraw is tied for 50th place. Overall, the Trojans have carded a 302 in the first 3 rounds. The cross-country team competed in the Crimson Classic this past weekend. Julia Osendorf led the women's tennis team in the 5K with a time of 18 minutes and 56 seconds, while Michaela Hodges and Samantha Smith both set personal best records. And for the men, Joe Guys and Dylan Ogburn were the top finishers in the 8K race. Guys finished with a time of 28 minutes and 11 seconds, while Ogburn finished with a time of 28 minutes and 14 seconds. The men came in 25th place with a score of 735 points, while the women came in 22nd place with a score of 582 points. Head coach Elliot Blount says that his team struggled and didn't compete to their standards.
What we did get out of it was a wake-up call. I don't think we performed up to our ability at that meet, and typically we like to have two meets like of this caliber before going into conference. We got one in, but I think we learned our lesson, and we have to step up our intensity as far as being competitive.
Up next, the Trojans will compete in the Sun Belt Conference Championships.